Hello, and welcome to a special and unique 2020 SHC Track and Field Senior Day. I hope you like my background. Before we start our senior speech ceremony, I want to give someone else who isn't a senior, but who will not be returning to Sacred Heart Cathedral next year, a chance to talk to the team. He spent 2 years with us and will be moving on to start college next fall. I give you a message from William Wang.
Hi everyone. I want to say thank you to the coaches and the seniors for giving me the opportunity to speak. This is my second year on the team, but unfortunately also the last year. In the past 2 years, I made lots of friends on the team, and some of them are my best friends. At the same time, I improved a lot in running, from knowing nothing about distance running to knowing a little bit now. At least now I understand that taping my meat sheet to my arm to prevent me from getting lost during a race is pretty dumb. Definitely not a good move, so don't imitate. I think during each season, improving your skills in your events is essentially important, but what's more important is to enjoy your time being with your teammates. And I really hope I can do that for 2 more years. Also, talking more to the coaches is a great thing to do. Seek advice from them about training and races, or simply just chat with them. Um, oh wait, maybe not from Andy. He might roast you. Again, thank you to all of you for being my teammates. I didn't realize how much I loved this team until now that I know that I might not see all of you again at practice or at meets. Thank you.
Okay, one of our traditions here with the SHC Track and Field program is to recognize, honor, and thank the senior class. Certainly, the class of 2020 seniors will forever be remembered for the sacrifices they made in terms of not having a track and field season, not to mention the postponing of numerous senior culminating events. Over time, I hope the seniors remember this with pride instead of sorrow. You were challenged to do what was in the best interest of those around you. You learned resilience, patience, and are a better person because of this experience. Today, we honor 27 seniors, most of whom are here on this Zoom meeting, including 14 four-year team members. I will introduce each person one at a time, and they will then give their traditional 1 to 2 minute senior speech. Starting with our first-year seniors, going next year to the University of Oregon, it's Thomas Brignara. That's not Thomas, that's Maya. Where are you, Thomas?
All right. Hi, everyone. So I've only been on track for one season, if you can really count this one, I guess. But I've had some of the best experiences of my life with the people on this team. Quick shout out to the boys, obviously. So I've run 4 seasons on cross country for Andy. And in these 4 seasons, I've been able to get really close to the people in my class, and they become like a second family to me. I know that the 2020 season and the second semester of school didn't turn out how we wanted it to, but I think it's important to remember that this year wasn't the only year to make good memories with our friends. We've experienced plenty of good things with our friends in the past years and seasons, and we should think of those things when we look back on our high school experience. As for any advice that I could give to the other grades, really all I'd like to say is that you should try to make the most out of everything that you can, because you never really know when it could end. To my senior class, I'm gonna miss you guys a lot, but I have a feeling that we'll all hang out, when we're in college, so I'm not too worried about staying in touch with everyone. And then lastly, I'd also like to thank the coaches for the hard work that they've put into making the program the way it is, because we really wouldn't be able to do it without you guys.
Thank you. Our next first-year senior, next year going to Lewis and Clark, is Dylan Souza.
Hello, my name is Dylan Souza. I want to start my senior speech by thanking the coaches. Thank you for your time, dedication, and selflessness to make each student athlete the best version of themselves. And in this speech, I will share with you my top 5 favorite moments in this running program. So there will be no questions asked about this top 5 moments. Number 5, Brandon Shue kissing Yoda on the sidewalk. Number 4, I I miss Will. Number 3, tackling Matthew Winslow every track meet. Number 2, watching Frozen 2 with the boys on November 22nd, 2019. And number 1, I opened Thomas's pantry and I saw Brandon Shue changing. And fun fact, I've slept with Brandon Shue 3 times in 2019. Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay. So the message of my speech is SHC's running program is the best in the world. No doubt about it. Endure every moment like it is your last, because I will never forget any of these memories. They made my high school experience. My teammates made my high school experience, as well as my coaches. I love you guys, and you guys are my family for life. Let's stay in contact and communicate with me if you guys need anything. My last words are cowabunga, dudes, and I'm out. Right on.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, moving to our 2-year seniors. Next year, going to Cal State Fullerton, currently sitting in this car, Kyle Massenke. Get you in the spotlight.
Okay, so wait. Through 2 years, I just want to reminisce on how great this track season was for me in organization. It's something more than running. Looking back, I just hate how I wasted the first 2 years not doing track. It's definitely like one of the biggest regrets of my time here. When I first arrived, I really didn't know anyone, like other than Sam and Bella. So I felt pretty nervous because everyone seemed to have their own clique, and I wondered how I'd fit in. But then I started to make new friends because everyone on this team was so welcoming. And like I just knew this was gonna be it. Especially Matthew and Lauren, because they were like the first friends I made from track. Even though I only had one real year of track, there was just so much more I wanted to prove this year. But injuries came to play, such as football, basketball, and Coach Reed. So I knew the season wasn't going to be good, but I didn't want it to end. Yeah, I just want to thank Coach Andy for letting me be a part of something so special in high school. And I'm going to miss you all in my carpool.
Thank you. Our next 2nd-year senior, I believe he's taking the gap year next year, and then we'll head to Humboldt State the following year, is Luke Chasse.
Okay. Dear team, when I joined track in the middle of junior year, I was in search of a new community and a new beginning to my high school experience. I was nervous, excited, and hopeful that I had made the right decision. Thankfully, after looking back at the past 2 years, I can safely say that I did. Running this program has opened me up to such a positive and supportive environment, filled with many amazing friends. Along the way, I have learned the true meaning of hard work and self-discipline, and in turn, it has also grown my self-confidence. As I look back on my time on this team, I remember all the laughs I shared, all the grueling workouts I was able to push through, and all the satisfactions of improved PRs. Being a part of this team and community has helped me grow as a person and has given me life skills that I will keep with me for the rest of my life. I'd like to thank Coach Andy for giving me the opportunity to participate in this program and my fellow teammates who have given me memories that I will never forget. I'd also like to wish everyone good luck on their next steps after high school, and I hope that we can use this challenging time as a learning experience to become stronger people. Thank you.
Thank you. And our final 2-year senior, last I heard, he was undecided between University of Nevada, Reno, or possibly going to college, San Mateo. Tita Vaquero.
Hey everyone. So I joined track my junior year because I felt like there was something missing in my life, and for a while I wasn't really myself. And then when I joined the team, I was so thrilled because not only was I trying like a brand new sport, but I was able to meet many awesome people throughout the journey, and it was something that like I've never been part of in my life. And I just remember like my first like meet ever was at the Dan Gaber, and then I just realized that like the whole team was just special overall because like no one was like left out of a conversation. You know, everyone felt like included. I've never received or even witnessed like so much like supportiveness like on the sidelines or like in the bleachers like before in my life. And like I was so happy that like I made the decision. So I think my favorite memory was last year's overnight Santa Barbara because it was like the first time I was ever really like away from home, and I got to bond with so many of you guys, and also like last year's graduating class, and the whole trip was just so exciting and lots of laughs too. So I was really grateful for that. And then I want to thank all my teammates and my friends for being there for me, and you guys were just supportive, awesome, and just know like I'll always be there for you. I really want to take the opportunity to thank 3 people in particular because they helped me make the most unforgettable experience. First off, I like to thank someone who graduated last year. Shout out to Mason Keys. The reason why is because not only was he a good teammate and a good friend, but he would always push me to my limits whenever we raced against each other. So that's one person. Second, I like to thank Coach Reed because he always brings the humor and joy to practice, and he just wants the best out of like all his kids. Like even though he corrected me on my running form and my like steady pace, I knew he was just trying to make me into the best possible sprinter available. And last but not least, I like to thank Coach Andy. Like I didn't think I was gonna make it junior year because like it's like people who like a junior who tries out like their first time has like a really slim chance of like making just any sports team, I say. But not only did like Andy take a chance on me, but like he opened his arms wide open and he welcomed me into like his track and field family, and that's something I'm so grateful for. And because of Coach Andy, he helped me find that missing hole in my life, which was track and field. So it's something that is so unforgettable. And Andy, thank you so much. And I think my whole high school journey was like pretty special. It was pretty good. But like if I had to go back and change one thing, I wish I would have been a part of this team freshman year because it's just something that you never really get to experience at all. So thank you guys so much for making this the best part of my high school experience.
You're welcome. Okay. On to our 3rd-year seniors. Started off, she's going to University of Nevada, Reno next year. Bella Cressy. I got it right at the parent meeting this last time.
Yeah. So I've been a part of the track team for 3 years. Sophomore year, I ran sprints. In these past 2 years, I've been a manager. And a better word to replace team with would definitely be family. It's truly amazing to see how many friendships and bonds were made within this team. I joined sophomore year knowing not that many people outside of my grade and even not knowing that many very well in my grade on the team. Each year I bonded with more people and made friends with people I never thought I'd be friends with. Advice for you guys would be to enjoy the time spent with each other. I was looking forward to ending the season with all of you, but sadly it was shorted. I know many of you hate the no phone rule at the meet, but trust me, Coach Andy has this rule for a reason. At meets, use this opportunity to go talk to new people, watch people compete, and cheer them on. It's much better than sitting on your phone waiting for the meet to be over. Some of the best memories were created at meets, and it's incredible to see the whole team cheering on each other, bonding, and just having a great time. My advice would be to live in the moment and take advantage of every opportunity you have. Don't be in a rush for things to end or be over because once it's done, you're going to miss it and wish you could be back. For my fellow seniors, I wish you all luck next year. I know you're going to do amazing things. Thank you to all the coaches for the support and love you've shown. Lastly, the underclassmen, I hope you all continue to work hard and never stop fighting for what you want.
Thank you. Okay, our next 3rd-year senior going to the University of Washington next year, Lauren Havlin.
Okay. I was really sad the day track got officially canceled. I was so excited for the season. I was excited to get to know the new sprinters on Vars, getting to triple jump with an actual jumping team, going to meets, mostly the sunny ones because I hate the rainy ones, missing school, even though I can't imagine wanting that now, and even the hard workouts with Coach Reed. I was excited for the overnight because the other two were so much fun, but I'm so glad that I got 2 full seasons with this team. I'll especially miss our carpool rides. You know, Bella, Layla, Inez, Lizzie, and I, we were pretty edgy and we had a lot of fun memes. Even though people had trouble telling us apart, which was really funny, Lizzie was really my rock during track, and I would always push harder because I knew she was too, because we are basically the same person. We always joked that we'd do hurdles together for our senior event, but I guess we'll never follow through with that. That's okay. In general, track has given me some really amazing memories, mostly because of how amazing this team is. Some advice that I have is to take weight room seriously. I have so much respect for Coach Boys, and you guys should all take advantage of how much he cares. Also, I think everyone's going to say this, but just be grateful for the time that you have with this team, because like all of us, you never really know if you'll get something as amazing as this team again. So, yeah.
Thank you. Next up, going to Marquette next year, Matthew Winslow.
All right. Hi, everyone. So as happy as I am to give this speech right now and address all of you and see all my friends again, I can't help but think of all the good times and memories I've made throughout these last 3 years. And honestly, that makes me a little bit sad. But going into this track year, I had my expectations really high that this would be the best year. And I had planned on practicing extra hard, building current relationships, as well as making new ones, and making a bunch of new memories. However, we all know how that panned out. And although I had done these things in my previous years, I always knew I could do more, make new friends, or practice harder. So I guess what I'm trying to say is that you shouldn't wait to do better, practice harder, or make new friends. If I had one piece for advice for everyone out there, it'd be just that, don't wait. As it is evident by our current situation, nothing is guaranteed, and if I had known that last year or the year before, I would have taken my own advice and not waited. So I'm asking everyone else on the team to take my advice, because you don't know what next year or the year after that will hold. With that said, I want to end my speech by thanking everyone on this screen for being the best coaches, teammates, and friends. It's hard, almost impossible, honestly, to imagine what my life would look like if I didn't join the track team in my sophomore year, because everyone on here has impacted my life in so many different ways, and I'm truly grateful to be a part of this team. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next up, going to UCLA next year, Corona Smith.
So when I joined track freshman year, I only lasted about 2 weeks because I quit. And I don't really know why I quit, but I think it was partially out of laziness or fear or something like that. But I really regret quitting because I didn't realize all the stuff that I had missed until I joined track in my sophomore year. And after that experience, and making so many memories in that whole season, I realized that track is really special, and it's something that you only get to experience so many times in your life. And you get all these things like overnights and bus rides and good races and bad races, and you have long meets, and it just all adds up to such a special experience. And I really wish that I had done it freshman year because I just didn't make the most of it. And now seeing that we didn't get our last season, it's really sad that I didn't join because track is such a special thing. And I'm just really grateful that I got to experience it for at least 2 full seasons. So, yeah.
Thank you. Still deciding between University of Oregon and Boulder, although I heard there are some other ones possibly in the mix late. Emily McSweeney.
Am I unmuted?
You are unmuted and you are spotlighted.
Okay, cool. So, hey everyone. I just wanted to start off by saying that I really miss all of you so much. This is definitely not how I imagined it would go. And while I could spend this time talking about how sad I am that I won't be able to finish my senior way that I wanted to, instead I want to reminisce on all the great times I've had over the past 4 years, especially the last 3 on the track team. I never thought that I would join the track team, but I'm so glad I did. Thanks to Maya for not forcing me, but strongly encouraging me to try out. This is one of the best things that has ever happened to me. I loved sitting on the bus, blasting music and singing at the top of my lungs, loved all the carpool rides to practice. I loved accomplishing my goals, whether it was getting a new PR or lifting more in the weight room. But most of all, I loved all the time I've spent with you. Sitting in a circle playing Duck Duck Goose and talking for hours during track meets are my favorite memories. I want to say thank you to all my coaches and teammates for making these past 3 years on the track team so amazing. Additionally, I'd like to thank Shelby, Cynthia, Krusty, Nacho, and Dimitri. If you know, you know, but I'm going to miss them a lot. Lastly, to my fellow seniors, I know this is not how we wanted our senior to end, and it sucks a lot. But I'm glad that I've gotten to know all of you and have created so many memories that I will cherish forever. I'll make sure to tell you where I'm going to college once I actually decide.
Right, thank you. Our 3 other 3-year seniors who aren't here in the Zoom meeting, I just want to mention them: Deirdre Keeley, Nico Petrilli, and Elizabeth Allen.
Hey team, I missed the Zoom meeting yesterday for senior speeches because I had work, but I still wanted to make a short little one, and I wanted to share one of my first memories from track, which was my sophomore season, and it was from the distance carnival, and Lauren and I were scheduled to run the 800, and we were really nervous. We were in a pretty bad heat, which is probably why this was able to happen at all, but we actually ended up placing pretty well. Lauren got second place and I got third, and we both got t-shirts, and we were so excited. We were talking about it after and we were like, what if we're actually really good at track? And newsflash, we weren't. Well, I wasn't. I think that was probably the last meet that I ever placed in, but it's still a really great memory for me because it was when I met one of my best friends on track, which is Lauren. And I mean, I have so many other friends that I've met from track, and it's really been one of the best programs that I've been able to be a part of at SHC. So I'm forever grateful to all my friends and coaches who helped me be better and have great seasons. Miss you all.
Now we go to our 4-year seniors. Not here today is Masi Donati, but the 13 other people are here. So let's get us started. Going to UC Santa Barbara next year is Brandon Shu.
All right, so the title of my speech is called Murphy's Law Type Beat. So I'm going to be sharing one of my memories of being on track today and attempt to drive a moral out of that story. Okay, so I guess I'll talk about the time I almost broke 60, some embarrassing stuff. But actually, I believe owning up to my embarrassing moments and be able to laugh at yourself is how you become stronger. So I remember being down at St. Francis and I was like getting ready to run the 400. I think Andy might not have reminded people not to do something with the lanes on the track. Anyways, I probably didn't hear this. I forget. So I'm lined up in lane 8 for the 400. I think the gun goes off and I'm running and I keep going. And since I'm in the outer lanes in lane 8, I just barely make it through the first 100 meters. I merge into lane 1. Apparently you're not supposed to do that. So I remembered everyone just cheering me on, and before I knew it, I was in first place. I see the clock, I'm like, wait, are they just slow or am I just fast? Turns out it was neither. As I crossed the finish line, my teammates were all congratulating me and all that crazy stuff, So people began figuring out my mistake, and I was like, ooh. So, moral of the story, own up to your embarrassing moments, learn from them, and don't let it define you. And also, make sure you listen to Andy when he gives instructions. And just like in track, don't be cutting lanes in life, No shortcuts, just go the full lap. And so it's been a fun 3 years and whatnot, and it's going to go by really quickly. So make sure you cherish every memory, and before you know it, track will be over. And I wish I had gotten to know all the new team members this year. But just like Murphy's Law, anything can happen, especially like this year, and you should be prepared for it. But of course, you can never be fully prepared. Simply control all the controllable variables, and the consequences of Murph Dog's Law will be less. I'd like to thank all the coaches, all my teammates, especially in my carpool. I'll miss you guys, but I know we'll stay in touch.
Thank you. I've forgotten about that race, but I do remember it as soon as you brought it up. Okay. Going to UC Merced next year, Alex Nip.
Okay. I'm not sure if I'm going there yet, but
Oh.
yeah. So I'll just start off by saying that I'm really glad I had the opportunity to be on this team. I've met a bunch of great people who have become my closest friends, and being on the track and cross country team have given me some of my best memories that I will always be grateful for. I'll never forget the fun times I had with my friends at track meets, spending time with the coaches, and just meeting new people in general. My advice, my advice to the freshmen, sophomores, and juniors is just to have fun and enjoy the time you have left because it will be over before you know it. And try your best in your event and try to just meet new people because your time on this team goes by before you know it, and you should try to make the most of it. I want to thank Coach Reed for pushing me in high jump and helping me become the best high jumper I could be. He always made practice super fun, and I'm really going to miss it next year. Thank you to Andy for such a great program, for running such a great program. He has given his all to this team, and I really appreciate him for that. And he has created a special bond with the team that is like no other. Thank you to everyone else who has supported me and always been there for me. I appreciate all of you, and we'll miss a lot of you next year.
Thank you. Next up, going to UCLA next year, Sabina House.
So I'm just going to start by talking about some of my favorite memories. So I remember when I was a freshman, I wasn't sure if I wanted to do track, but Coach G made me go to your office. I'm so glad that she did because I've made so many good memories on this team. Some of my favorite memories were the overnights, stopping to get food after track meets, having fun adventure runs, and so much more. I also remember running when it was hailing and pouring, and it was so fun because we were just running with the team. I also love spending time with teammates at track meets and practice and also cheering everyone on. Some advice I would have is enjoy all the time you have because you don't know when it'll be over because anything could happen. And also, while I'm sad I didn't get to have one last track season, I'm grateful for all the good memories I've made with this team. And thank you to all the coaches for everything you've done.
You're welcome. Thank you. Next up, going to UC Davis, Brandon Hong.
Hello, fellow teammates. In 4 seasons, several emotional, difficult, tiring, stressful, comical, and important events have happened. And it's difficult to capture all of that within 300 words, which I didn't. So I'll start by saying what I've learned as a result of the season. Not to say that track defined my high school experience, exactly, but most of the memories I will take and cherish from high school do involve cross-country and track, because that's where I made most of my friends. For example, the overnight trip sophomore year was a highlight that season. That was probably the 3rd time I've ever seen snow. And that was also the year before I switched to the more superior distance team. I've also learned and realized that I'm going to regret not talking to all of you sooner, because some of y'all are pretty interesting. For instance, I got desperate and decided to watch Maya's Minecraft series on YouTube one day. And to be honest, the fun-filled philosophical commentary more than makes up for the video quality. I also learned that, surprisingly, soccer isn't the only thing that makes up Masi's character, and this short season has proven it's definitely not the only thing he's good at. I've also made some pretty significant accomplishments. I can finally say with 70% certainty that I can distinguish between the house twins, after 3 years of people telling me to look at the eyebrows. Overall, there's just so many people, especially seniors, that I wish I got to know more this season. My piece of advice might be more for my fellow seniors, but I think it could apply to anyone on the team. These months have taught us that distance should not hinder social interaction. Hopefully, if I'm not severely unsociable or terribly awkward, I should meet some new people while I'm in college. But I want to at least try to maintain friendships with some of you. Reality tells me that this won't be easy in the long term, and that might be true in many cases. But if we all make active efforts to communicate with each other, it is possible. Because, at least for me, it's hard to imagine a world where William isn't rambling about calculus or physics, where I'm not using Emmy's height as a unit of measurement, where Bishu isn't being, well, Bishu. Of course, this isn't the season we expected. It's not what I expected. nor is it the season we necessarily hope for. Regardless, I'm glad I had the chance to share in all of your memories, even if it was just for a few weeks. Maybe we were super close, maybe we didn't talk at all. It doesn't matter. I felt included, thanks to all the beautiful people that make this team. Seriously, thank you. And I'm gonna miss all of you.
Deciding between UC Davis and USF is Iris Yee.
Hey everyone, I hope you all are doing well. I guess you could say that this track and field season went by supersonically fast. Although it may be difficult to physically improve as of now, know that we will come out of this experience mentally stronger. Thank you to all our coaches who pushed us out of our comfort zones, instilled in us a strong work ethic, and most importantly, believed in us. Thanks to Coach Reed, who taught me how to master the 400-meter dash and to reach for my wallet when swinging my arms while sprinting. To Coach Christian, who led a killer workout over Zoom on Tuesday, which I am still sore from. To Coach Sherry, who guided us during our tiresome but fun Tuesday field workouts. To Coach Steve, who kept us in check and made sure we were always focused during practice. To Coach Packett, who gave the best running advice and also helped me to enjoy myself while competing. To Coach Poise, who taught us discipline, brought out our full potential in the weight room, and for his support that helped carry me through the hardest time of my life. And to Coach G, the best math teacher I've had, for believing in me since day one. Aside from running tips, the most important thing I learned from track and field is teamwork. Thank you for teaching me what it means to be part of a team. From cheering each other on at meets in the pouring rain to just enjoying each other's company during long invitationals. I am especially grateful for Coach Andy, who is the foundation of our team spirit. Thank you for caring not only for our physical health, but also for our mental and emotional well-being. I appreciate your efforts to keep us all connected during this hard time. Last year, when I watched the seniors walk their final lap at St. Francis after WCAL finals, I imagined us, the class of 2020, in their shoes. Although I am sad that we will not get a chance to be physically together for the rest of the season, I will forever hold on to the precious memories we've shared. I wish you all the best.
Thank you. Okay, next up, going to UCLA, Tessa House.
Hi guys. I wanted to start off by saying that I'm so glad that I joined the track team my freshman year because some of my greatest memories over the past 4 years have been with this team. Bina already said this, but I wasn't even planning on joining the team at first, but thankfully Miss G and also Maya too convinced Sabina and I to join our trig class during our trig class freshman year. But I started as a pole vaulter, and I have some amazing memories from pole vaulting that year. And from that year also, some of my favorite memories were from the overnight, which I don't know, I found it really fun. And then sophomore year, I was a distance runner. And I remember going to the Truckee overnight, and I know like a lot of our times were slow, but I had a like really fun time anyways because the team is like amazing. And I think that my favorite memory junior year was WCL finals when we saw the seniors at their last meet. And I know we don't have that, but it was still special to see like what makes this team so amazing. And then one thing for the underclassmen to remember is to enjoy the experience on the team because it has been amazing these past 4 years. Lastly, I'd like to thank all the coaches and teammates for making my experience on the team so much better.
Thank you. Going to UC Davis next year, Emmy Hall.
Okay. So I think most of my favorite memories occurred off the track after the anxieties of racing were over with. Not that it's a bad thing, but we all know how relieving it feels to finish your race on the last race of the day. Finishing meant that I could eat all the chocolates in Brandon's trail mix. It meant that I could take a nap on Iris and have mini long jump competitions and even build human pyramids with my teammates. Of course, cheering my teammates on, running the last races of the day at the top of my lungs will always be an exciting memory. And on the bus ride back, playing games like Contact became some of my favorite moments as well. Many of my favorite memories were also made days before races, during practices that we had.
cramped carpools, annoying Coach Reed, interesting talks with Cassie while doing sit-ups on the side of the wall, lifting, which I realize how much I take for granted now, and getting post-practice snacks with my teammates when we decide that the last 2 hours that we just spent together just weren't enough. I miss all of these things every day and will miss them next year as well. Freshmen and underclassmen, I wish I could have made more memories with you guys this year. I'm sad I didn't really get to know all of you, although I'm very thankful for the couple that I got to talk to. However, I'm really excited for you guys next year since you'll finally get to enjoy the track team. My piece of advice for you is to open up yourself to others. I was very shy when I was a freshman, but after opening up a little more every year, I got to meet people that have become my closest friends and that have made track so much more fun. I feel like I've grown up a lot through track, and I will miss everyone here whom I've grown up with.
Thank you. Let's see, going to the University of Arizona next year, Cassie Baromeo.
Hi. So the first time I raced, I was a pole vaulter, and Andy really wanted pole vaulters to race, so I ended up running the 100 meters at Kezar, and that was the start of a love that I didn't want to let go so soon. I can't believe the last race that I would be running would involve me wringing out rainwater out of my sweats, but even those kind of moments will last forever in my heart. And as all of us seniors, and all of us, not just seniors, but teammates in the team know, like, we didn't want the season to end that way. I had goals like going to CCS, finally going sub 27 in the 200, but I'm still blessed to have these 4 years with such an amazing team. And I want to thank the coaches, a senior class, for all the memories that will that will forever leave a lasting impact in, like, my memory of SHC when I graduate. My first memory of Coach Reed was back in freshman year when he was throwing it back on Nico V, and that made me realize that, wow, this is a really unique team, and I really need to stay where I'm at. Coach LG for always being the sweetest person ever. Coach G for training me in the classroom and outside on the track by telling me I did meh after my races. And I also want to thank Andy, because he would go from making fun of me for wearing this sweatshirt all the time to hugging me after WCAL finals my junior year after a not so great race. But my last advice that I want to give to everyone in the team is to, of course, like everyone else, enjoy every moment you have with your teammates, and don't be afraid to take chances and push yourself to your limits, and take advantage of practices, because they will help you in the end. And practices are also the times where you finally get to spend time with your teammates. And now I really miss my own teammates because we're not allowed to go to practice. But anyways, like, the last words that I want to say to you guys is I love you, and yeah.
Thank you. Going to Boulder, Colorado next year, Luke Schumann-Colley. Where are you, Luke? Let me get you in the spotlight. There.
Hi, everyone. In 4 years of being in track and field, I competed for what turned out to be maybe 2 full seasons at the most. Freshman year, most of junior year, and then the start of my senior season. The most special thing about this team is that I made just as many good memories not competing as I did when I was. Like the time I sat in the bleachers for 40 minutes with a broken arm that required emergency surgery, or the time I became a professional farmer raking the long jump pit for the entire meet. But this isn't a speech to talk about memories. There are just too many of them. This is a speech to thank the common denominator in all of those memories. Competing or not, my team was there for me, and after being away from everything for almost 2 months, I now realize how much more important the team was in my life than I thought. I'd like to thank all of the people who I talked to during long meets. I'd like to thank all of the sprinters for not being distance runners. I'd like to thank the coaches for coaching me, but also for being there for me outside of track and field. I'd like to thank everyone who took photos and shared them with the team for us. I'd like to thank the hurdlers for being so encouraging and kind to each other. I'd like to thank everyone who came before me, setting solid examples. And lastly, I'd like to thank everyone who literally or figuratively helped me up when I fell over a hurdle. This team has meant the world to me these last 4 seasons, and I can only hope to find another group of such professional, caring, and inspiring people to call myself a part of again. Thank you and goodbye.
Thank you. Okay, going to San Diego State next year, Adriana Jurisic.
Okay. Hey guys. So obviously this isn't what I thought at the beginning of the year how I would give my speech. Not gonna lie, I've kind of been looking forward to this day ever since I joined the team freshman year and watching all of the past seniors give their speeches. One memory that sticks with me from freshman year is on the first day of tryouts. Sydney and I thought we would make varsity because we thought no one does track, but boy, we were wrong. For being a four-year senior, I didn't get to compete as much as I wish, and that's something I have no control over. I wish I could have high jumped more, but life happens. I didn't think this program would have had as big of an impact on my life as it did. I also didn't think my 4 years would go the way it did, and I wish it went differently, but nevertheless, I'm glad to have had this experience. And I'm glad to have shared it with all of you guys, especially the four-year seniors. You guys have become my best friends, and this quarantine has made me realize how much I care for you all. I want to thank my carpool, Alex, Sabina, Tessa, Corona, and Kennedy, for always making the ride to Kezar more interesting, even if it meant Corona sticking her head out of the car window and I was afraid of getting pulled over. If the rest of the team was here, I guess I would say to the freshmen and sophomores, don't ever take a practice or meet for granted. Soak in every one. To the juniors, you're going to be seniors soon, and you saw us have our season taken away, so I hope you guys enjoy yours and make the memories we couldn't. And for the seniors, even though we couldn't make memories we wanted to this year, I think we should be happy with the numerous amount of memories we have made, because nothing can compare to the ones we've shared together these past 3 years. I think I now realize how much I will miss the roast from Andy and this sport in general, so I will miss you all, and I wish you all the best in life and college.
Thank you. And going to University of Nevada, Reno next year, Samantha Irwin.
Hi guys. So SHC track and field has been a big part of my life for 4 years. I never thought this team would mean so much to me. Every single time school started, I couldn't wait for spring because that meant track. I looked forward to track not only for the meets, but to spend many hours with the great friends I've made here. I want to thank you all for the countless and best memories of not only my high school experience, but also life. I will always remember our first and last home meet at Kezar, running the 800 with no experience, our final meet last year at St. Francis and dancing in a big circle with everyone, weight room with Coach Poise, my carpool to practice, my carpool home, and many other memories. But most importantly, we should all be thanking Coach Andy and all the other coaches for making these memorable moments happen. Some advice I want you all to have is to always believe in yourself. Always try your hardest and do the best you can do. Just know this team believes in you. This team will always have your back no matter what, and remember that. Lastly, I want to thank Coach Andy and my grandpa for helping me further my track career in college. If it weren't for them, none of this would be happening. So thank you to them and to all you guys, my teammates. Love you all and good luck in college or the rest of your high school. I will miss you all. Thank you.
Thank you. Going to UCLA next year, Sedge Greenlee.
Okay. So having done both track and cross country, I've thought a lot about the difference between the two and which one I like more, like I think a lot of people have. So I think what I've come to realize is that track is a lot more tangible of a sport than cross country is. And what I mean by that is that in track, very few things change. No matter no matter what event you do or the equipment you're using or the course you're running on, pretty much everything's going to be the same with the notable exception of Reardon's old square track. So with that in mind, you really have to love the people on this team in order to spend day after day and every single weekend with them. I don't think I would keep doing track myself if it was just for the workouts. No offense, Andy. I love what you've done for us, but definitely need the people to be here with it. Like many things in life, it's really easy for a lot of the stuff we do in track to become routine. But my favorite memories definitely came when that routine was broken up. So when I'm long gone from the program and I'm not really going to remember my mark for high jump or my favorite pre-race meal. I don't even remember those now, to be honest. But I am going to remember me and Emmy's front seat arrangement, which, by the way, Luke, don't think is off now just because we don't have carpool. Getting trapped on BART for like 3 hours in the middle of a thunderstorm with Adriana, and somehow like getting off laughing, and pretty much everything Brandon Chu's ever done. So thank you to everyone who's made my track experience great, and I hope that this team means as much to you guys as it does to me.
Thank you. And going to the University of Waterloo, Maya C.
Okay. Firstly, I just like to thank all the coaches and teammates who've helped make this team so special. You mean the world to me, and I will cherish the memories I've made with this team forever. One of the first things I had to write for Andy was a poem about getting a seat on the CCS bus to watch Matt run. I thought it would therefore be fitting to make one of the last things I write for him a poem as well. I always thought I hated to run, but track taught me it was actually fun. And although my time may be over, at least my times can't get any slower. I joined freshman year after a lot of advice from Christina and Miss G, who made it sound nice. I thought I was going to try and throw, but hurdles came naturally, as you all know. My freshman season was new and exciting, and the whole team was very nice and inviting. I made a lot of friends that I still love today, and after that season, I knew I would stay. Sophomore year was the peak in my career, with big PRs that had CCS near. And though the season had sprains and heartbreak, a WCL champion is what I would make. Junior year was definitely not the best, but it taught me what I cannot learn on a test, that times in PRing do not define you, but the work you put in and how hard you push through. I'm very sad that there's little senior season, all because of that serious corona reason. But if I've learned anything over these 4 years is that there's many reasons not to shed so many tears. Maybe I didn't get to PR one last time, but the memories I made will last a lifetime. I'll miss the CMAs and the quotes of the weeks and Andy's roast when he thinks he's so sleek. I'll miss the Schoology posts like when someone finished Steel or all the meet photos, even the ones from Neil. I'll miss Andy's strictness and all of his details, or that this might be the last time I mention Alex Scales. I know you will miss me, but don't break a sweat, because next year I'll still stalk you on athletic.net. And although we might soon break apart, SHC track and field, I love you with all of my heart. Sorry.
Got Alex Scales and athletic.net in there. Nicely done. So in closing, I want to again thank the senior class. I know from listening to you that all of you have some terrific track and field memories. Maybe not too many from senior year, unfortunately, but you have great memories from previous seasons nonetheless. And those memories will be cherished and will stay with you forever. I think if I look up and look too closely at some of you right now, I'm going to start to cry. So let me just conclude this by saying thank you, class of 2020. I will forever remember you and forever love you.